One of the details of traveling on a budget that can often be overlooked is the cost of getting from the airport to your hotel, Airbnb, or other accommodations. You've planned your flight, hotel, and places you want to visit. But how do you get from A to B? I don't like the sticker shock feeling when I get into a cab or Uber and watch the meter tick away or stare at Uber's high two-figure estimate. Also, a little walk doesn't always translate from one language to another. I recently visited Athens, Greece, and was happily surprised to learn that their subway metro system was a great option for getting from the airport to where you're staying or want to visit. The metro station is located at the airport, and it's easy to find. All the signage is written in Greek and English. You use a touchscreen payment system to purchase your fare card, and it has a number of language choices at the bottom. The metro system is accommodating locals and tourists, so its ticketing options are varied. I try to keep life as simple as possible, so I opted for what's basically a 3-day pass, meaning I could enter and exit any metro station for 72 hours. The card's rechargeable, so don't throw it away. Pay attention to the options on the screen. There are only 3 or 4, and choose the one for €20 that includes plus around. They have one that's just getting you from the airport to downtown. They have one for 90 minutes. They have one for locals. But you want to make sure you pick the right option because you'll be pretty sad once you exit and try to re-enter. I stress entering and exiting because you'll have a little card that you don't want to lose. Entering and exiting is based on touching the card at the gate, glass doors. The doors then slide open for you to enter or exit. The metro system's widely used by tourists and locals, so it's possible to mistakenly think you've touched the sensor when you haven't, and you're just following closely behind the person in front of you, what we call piggybacking. During my week stay in Athens, I observed several locals intentionally walk behind the person in front of them to exit without paying because I assume they never paid to enter. This wasn't everyone, just off occasions, but enough that I noticed. On one occasion, we were asked by 2 people to touch our cards on their portable machine to verify we had valid cards. So this is a sign that there's obviously a little problem. It's not a huge metro system, only 3 lines: red, blue, and green. If you're comfortable with a simple map, the color coordination of the lines makes transferring between stations fairly simple. Just remember 3 things: the color of the line you want to take, there are only 3, the last stop on the line in the direction you're traveling, that way you won't go in the wrong direction, and the last thing you need to remember is the name of your stop. If you have to transfer a line, just apply the same 3 steps. If that's too complicated or stressful, cabs are widely available. From what I read online, Uber's an option, and they also have a local ride-hailing app too. Aside, Uber Eats is not available in Greece, but they do have a local option that works seamlessly, and you can also pay cash too, which is a nice alternative. But Uber and the local ride-hailing app do the same thing, basically call a cab for you. It seems the Greek people are more comfortable culturally taking a regulated cab than they are entering a stranger's car. Go figure. It was raining one day, and we were going to meet a food tour guide, so we took a cab. It was a 15-minute ride, and it was under €10, which included a tip. As an aside, again, lots of asides, I definitely recommend taking a food tour. Although it could be a bit expensive, we paid €50 to €60 apiece. But it's as much a part of their culture as visiting a ruin, and definitely worth the splurge. Choose one that kind of includes as much of a lunch as you can get, and a lot of them have wine tastings as part of the tour. We also took a cab from our Airbnb to the airport because we had flights before the metro opened. It was 58 euros and we gave a $5 tip, or I should say €5 tip. The subway system is one of the cleanest I've ever seen. They obviously keep the system up, but the city of Athens is overall a very clean city. Athens is a capital city in addition to a tourist site. So you'll see a mix of tourists and residents on the train and bus system. If you travel at rush hour or a busy time, it gets crowded, but people enter and exit almost in a measured number, so it's definitely tolerable. You'd also want to check Google Maps to see if where you're going is within walking distance, and you might not have to take multiple trains to get where you're going. Try to be super cautious about pickpockets on the train. A guy tried to open my wife's purse on the crowded train, but she was way ahead of him. You'll also notice a lot of people, including locals, wearing their backpacks on their chest. I assume that's to deter petty crime. Although you want to be cautious, Athens is definitely one of the safest cities in the world. Greek is the official language, but English is widely spoken, so you shouldn't have any difficulty. Hope this video helps to make your trip a bit easier. Consider liking and subscribing to our channel. We'd appreciate any comments or suggestions, positive and negative. And have a great day.